You know those mornings you wake up feeling a little stiff, maybe a bit foggy, just tired? It's so easy to just chalk that up to getting older, right? But what if I told you that's not the whole story? Not even close.
What if that feeling, that lack of energy and morning aches, has less to do with how many years you've been alive and a whole lot more to do with something you can actually change? This is where we get into the really fascinating science of your biological age.
Okay, so here's the deal. Your chronological age, that's the number that goes up every birthday, is fixed. We can't change that. But your biological age, that's the real age of your cells and your body. And the amazing part is, it's flexible. It actually responds to what you do every single day, which means you've got way more power here than you think. And that's exactly what we're going to dive into. We're going to walk through 7 super small habits you can start doing before 10 a.m. that literally signal your body to rejuvenate itself. And hey, pay special attention to habit number 3. It's the one almost everyone skips, and it just might be the secret reason you're hitting that 3 p.m. wall. So let's get right into it. We're starting with the first 2 habits, which are all about creating a solid physical foundation for a more youthful day. These are things you can do the second you wake up. The first thing so many of us do is stumble towards the coffee maker. But let's pause that for just a second and try something I like to call the internal shower. Just think about it for a sec. You've been asleep for, hopefully, around 8 hours. Your body is naturally dehydrated. Pouring coffee into that system right away is like a jolt that puts stress on your kidneys and can even dry out your skin. The fix is so simple. 1 big glass of room temperature water before anything else. It wakes up your digestion and hydrates you from the inside out. Okay, next up, that morning stiffness. You know exactly what I'm talking about. When getting out of bed feels like a real chore. Well, that's not just getting old. It's your body telling you it's been stagnant. And this is where this little saying comes in handy. Your joints are filled with something called synovial fluid, which is basically like the oil in your car's engine. When you're lying still all night, that fluid settles. So jumping straight out of bed is kind of like trying to drive a car with a cold engine. We've got to get that lotion moving first. And it's ridiculously easy. Before your feet even hit the floor, just take 60 seconds. Wiggle your toes, gently roll your ankles around in circles, and then take a huge, satisfying stretch with your arms up over your head. That's it. You're basically greasing the gears for the entire day. All right, now that we've laid that physical foundation, let's build on it with our next couple of habits. These are focused on what you eat and how you move. Okay, this is that big one I told you to watch out for. This is the habit that when you skip it is a huge reason for those afternoon energy slumps and even muscle loss, which can really make you feel older faster. So here's the classic mistake, starting your day with a breakfast full of simple carbs, like toast, a sugary cereal, or even just fruit on its own. What that does is it causes a massive spike in your blood sugar, which is always followed by a hard crash a couple of hours later. The fix is to make protein the anchor of your breakfast. This keeps your blood sugar stable for long-lasting energy, and super importantly, it gives your body the building blocks it needs to maintain that precious muscle mass. This next one is kind of fun. It costs you absolutely 0 extra time, and it's incredibly powerful for preventing falls, which is a major concern as we get older. I call it the flamingo minute. It's this simple. While you're brushing your teeth, something you're going to do anyway, just stand on one leg for about 30 seconds, and then switch to the other. It might seem like a tiny thing, but what you're actually doing is training all those little stabilizer muscles and strengthening the pathways in your brain that are responsible for balance. So we've covered the body. Now let's shift gears and talk about habits that support your mind and your spirit. This is all about tuning your brain and your mood for the day ahead. Here's a wild biological fact for you. The quality of your sleep tonight is actually determined by what you do this morning, and it all kicks off with light. Getting some direct daylight in your eyes and not through a window if you can help it within about 30 minutes of waking up does 3 amazing things. First, it resets your internal body clock, your circadian rhythm. Second, it triggers a little boost of serotonin, the happy hormone, which lifts your mood. And third, it literally programs you for deeper, more restorative sleep later that night. Our brains love routines because they're efficient, but routine is also where your brain's ability to create new connections kind of goes to sleep. To keep your mind sharp and young, you've got to introduce a little bit of novelty. The trick is just to add one tiny new thing to your morning. Try brushing your teeth with your other hand. It's going to feel weird and clumsy, but that feeling, That's your brain building brand new pathways. Or just take a different route from your bedroom to the kitchen. Think of it like doing a push-up for your neurons.
And finally, we've arrived at the secret weapon. This is a habit that goes beyond the physical and taps into the very reason you get out of bed at all. In places called the blue zones, these are parts of the world where people live incredibly long, healthy lives. They have this concept called ikigai. It's not about your to-do list. It's about your reason for being. It's your sense of purpose. So the habit is this: before you dive into all the things you have to do, just pause and ask yourself this one simple question. Maybe it's a phone call with a friend you're excited about, or just sitting down with a nice cup of tea, or watching your favorite show later. This isn't just about feeling good, it's pure biology. When you actively focus on joy and anticipation, you lower the production of cortisol, the stress hormone that is one of the biggest drivers of aging at a cellular level. And that, really, is what this is all about. The years are going to pass, that's inevitable. But that feeling of getting old, the stiffness, the brain fog, the fatigue, that is something you can absolutely choose to push back against. You don't have to start all 7 of these tomorrow, just pick one. Just one that sounds good to you.
So which one is it going to be? The internal shower? The flamingo minute? I'm honestly curious. Let us know down in the comments which habit you're going to try first. Just saying it out loud is the very first step toward getting your vitality back.